Good morning, everyone. So happy you tuned in today. Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Linzi. I am a naturopathic doctor right here in Iron River. I specialize in helping people restore their health and revitalize their life. Always our little disclaimer here, anything we discuss is for the purpose of general health support, not intended to treat or cure disease. We're here to talk about optimizing overall physiology and optimizing overall health. Always consult with your own primary care before making any health changes. And so last episode, we talked about something that's been on a lot of people's minds right now, which is ticks. We're officially in tick season, right? And so I've been seeing a lot of random information on the internet and a lot of fear and not always good clarity. So last week, my goal was to help you feel informed, prepared, and empowered, not scared to go outside and enjoy your life and this beautiful summer here in the Midwest and the Upper Peninsula. And so we covered prevention, proper tick removal, and what to do if you do get bit. And so be sure to check it out on YouTube. That's Dr. Linzi ND. That's DrLinzi. ND, and you can check that out. Today, I want to talk about a topic that was actually requested to be talked about. I had a few people reach out and asked if I wouldn't mind sharing things that they could do in their life to help with PCOS. So this is something that affects so many women, yet so many feel dismissed, confused, or frustrated when dealing with PCOS. And PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And even if you're a male, I still want you guys to tune in and listen because you may have a daughter, a granddaughter, a wife, or somebody that deals with this, or maybe hasn't even known what they've been dealing with, because it's often somebody who struggles with weight gain, stubborn belly fat, irregular cycles, infertility, fatigue, acne, anxiety, cravings, hair loss, inflammation, feeling exhausted no matter how hard they try to work on their health. And so I want you to hear me when I say this. That means your body is not broken. Your body is actually communicating with you. And one of the biggest shifts we need to make is to stop asking, what symptom can I suppress? And instead start asking, why is the body doing this in the first place, right? Because the body, you guys, is intelligent. And so if the body is forming cysts anywhere in the body, in the thyroid, in the ovaries, literally anywhere, there is a reason. And I want to help you better understand some of the root causes and also give you some practical things that you can start doing right away to support your body naturally. So PCOS is not just an ovary issue. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about PCOS, is simply thinking it's an ovary problem. PCOS is actually deeply connected to insulin resistance, inflammation, stress hormones, nervous system dysregulation, liver congestion, gut health, nutrient deficiencies, especially iodine, poor detoxification, and lymphatic stagnation. And I'm going to explain some of this a little bit more for you guys, but this is why women with PCOS often feel like they are fighting their body, and why caloric restriction or a quick Metformin script, if you didn't know, that's the go-to. You get PCOS, the doctor is just going to give you Metformin, and why that alone doesn't work. Because when insulin is elevated, that's one of the main things with PCOS, is the body stores fat. And when cortisol is elevated, which is also very common with PCOS, the body stays inflamed and stressed. So when the nervous system is stuck in that fight or flight, the body does not prioritize healing. And when detoxification and lymphatic are sluggish, the body struggles to properly clear hormones and inflammation, hence the estrogen dominance. And when the body is loaded with toxins and when the body is devoid of key nutrients like iodine, there will be issues. Everything is connected, you guys. So if we look at the lymphatic system, this is a missing piece that nobody talks about with PCOS. The lymphatic system is essentially the drainage and waste removal system in the body. It's important for so much. But unlike your heart, which pumps blood, the lymphatic system depends on movement to function. So breathing, walking, muscle contraction, rebounding, sweating, hydration. And so many women today are sedentary, chronically stressed, dehydrated, inflamed, and sitting most of the day, which means the lymphatic system becomes sluggish. And I want you to think of it like stagnant water. And stagnant systems tend to become inflamed. And this is why so many women with PCOS struggle with puffiness, inflammation, water retention, breast tenderness, painful cycles, fatigue, skin issues. The body is saying, I need support moving things out. And so what is an action step that you can do right away today? You can make sure you move your lymphatic system daily. This does not have to be complicated. You can start with literally walking, rebounding. The mini trampolines are amazing. 10 to 15 minutes is the equivalent of 10,000 steps, and it's so good for your lymph system. You can do dry brushing. You can do sauna, stretching, vibration plate, but not just any vibration plate, power plate, harmonic frequency vibration plates, deep breathing, sweating intentionally, and even just 10 minutes daily matters. I have a great 5-minute lymphatic movement that I share with patients. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm happy to send it to you. It's Linzi Say Larson. So Linzi Say SAIGH Larson, LARSEN on Facebook, and I'd be happy to get it to you. And then the next thing I want to talk about is insulin resistance and blood sugar. So this is another major driver behind PCOS and insulin resistance. And this is where so many women unknowingly get trapped because they're constantly snacking, having a high sugar intake, processed foods, poor sleep, and stress. And all of this keeps your insulin elevated. And elevated insulin signals to the body to store fat, to increase inflammation, to increase androgen production. Hello, dealing with too much testosterone with PCOS, and it worsens the hormone balance. In other words, that high estrogen that often results. And this is why stabilizing that blood sugar is foundational, not just getting a script for Metformin and sending people on their merry way. So what's an actionable step that you can do to help with this starting today? You can start building your meals around protein. So literally, not crackers, not cereal, not just coffee, and think like, oh, I'm good because I fasted this morning. No, that's like the worst thing you can do. You want protein. So aim to include, at least 20 to 30 grams of protein with every meal as a good starting point, and your blood sugar will be so much more stable. And then next is the iodine connection. I want to talk about this because it's incredibly important, and so many women have never even heard of this connection to their ovaries. Iodine is key, you guys. Most people think when they think of iodine, they think of like thyroid, or I'm not in a third world country and I don't have a goiter. What do I need to know about iodine? But so many people don't realize that we are so deficient in iodine in our country, and living in the Midwest, especially along the Great Lakes, it's literally called the goiter belt. So you don't have to have those ones in pictures that we like saw in school with the big old thing, but you can have a swollen. I had it. I had a goiter. My thyroid was significantly swollen. I had to get an ultrasound, the whole 9 yards, got my iodine tested. I was like the lowest the lab had ever seen. I have horrible fibrocystic breast tissue. I get pain when I ovulate. All the info you're getting today on me, you guys. And when I addressed the iodine, oh my gosh, almost all of the fibrocystic breast tissue is gone in my breasts. I don't get the pain with ovulation. And so many things have improved in my health and my life. But the ovaries actually concentrate the highest amount of iodine, even more so than the breast tissue and the thyroid. They require iodine significantly to function. And so do the breasts, so do the thyroid, so do so many things in our body. And iodine plays a role in the hormone balance, the ovarian health, the breast tissue health, cellular metabolism, detoxification, and healthy tissue function. Now, let me be clear. This does not mean everyone should start megadosing on iodine tomorrow. That is not what I'm saying or doing. This needs to be approached thoughtfully and individually. What I am saying is that iodine deficiency is incredibly common today and so often overlooked, and so many people fear salt. Our soils are depleted. Toxins like bromide, chloride, and fluoride compete with iodine, and these are extremely prevalent in our environment today, our food supply, everything we're exposed to. And it's so much people don't realize, and that's a cumulative effect through our life, and that competes with iodine. And processed foods dominate the diet today, which further worsens the problem. And then chronic stress depletes these nutrients as well. And so when the body lacks these important nutrients, the system begins struggling. But when you're dealing with iodine, you guys, you can't just start taking larger doses of iodine. You have to, you have to have it looked at properly, likely have it tested, and and if you're going to help go through the process like I did, it needs to be supported because you start detoxing, and all of that needs to be supported. But what you can do, actionable step, is you can focus on iodine-rich foods naturally. Now, of course, you could also see your doc or your natural care provider, get your levels looked at. It can look at your iodine levels, can look at bromide and fluoride, and see what's going on there so you can fully support your iodine picture. You can also just today start eating iodine rich foods. You can include sea vegetables. You can also just get dulce, DUL, at the DULSE at the health food store. Golden Harvest has it, and you can use it like salt, but it's literally like iodine. And you can get that right, and it tastes salty, and you can use that with your mineral salt to make sure you're getting that extra iodine, and it's just sea vegetables. You can include more seafood, you can include eggs, and you can also support the nutrients that work with iodine, like selenium, magnesium, and zinc. But again, individualized support matters here, you guys, because you don't just want to start doing haphazard things with iodine, but it's very important for our body. Then when we look at stress and the nervous system, one thing I wish more women understood is that healing does not happen in survival mode. So many women with PCOS are overworked, overstimulated, unrested, emotionally exhausted, disconnected from their body. And then they wonder why their body is struggling. And you have to remember, like we talked about the other week, the body keeps the score. And chronic stress changes cortisol, insulin, inflammation, cravings, hormones, sleep, metabolism. And this is why nervous system support is not optional, right? And this is why it's such a part of everything I do to help people, is we're always working on the nervous system. So what's one actionable step that you can do today? You can start regulating your nervous system daily. And simple things, doesn't have to be a big ordeal. You can start with prayer, gratitude, affirmations, breathing exercise, getting out in nature, not being afraid of those ticks like we talked about last week, sunlight, qigong, reducing screen time, especially at night, journaling, music, slowing down. All of these things, oftentimes the body doesn't need more. It just needs to feel supported and safe. And those things that I listed are all things that are going to help regulate your nervous system, which is going to absolutely help your whole picture of your health. And this is also why I created the total health restoration, because women with PCOS don't just need another diet or more restriction or a life sentence of taking metformin and thinking they're going to be good to go. They need structure, support, accountability, nervous system healing, inflammation reduction, blood sugar support, lymphatic support, liver support, gut support, muscle preservation, guidance, feedback, sustainable habits. That all needs to come together. And those supportive and sometimes supportive tools like different peptides or a microdose GLP-1 can absolutely help. But the real transformation happens when we are addressing the roots while rebuilding the body, the metabolism, and habits, and the mindset all together. And so this is not about starving yourself. This is not about shame or feeling guilty about your body not working, feeling like it's not working for you. And it's definitely not about perfection. This is about helping the body function the way that it was designed to, right? And I just want you guys to know, if today's segment resonated with you, please know that you are not alone. And please stop blaming yourself or doing all of that. Your body is not your enemy. It is literally just asking for help. And so if you'd like more information on the total health restoration system, and you want support getting to the root cause behind the symptoms, just reach out to the office or send me a message on Facebook at Linzi Say Larson. So that's Linzi Say SAIGH Larson, Larsen. Look for me on there. You can send me a message on there. You can friend request me, and we can get the ball rolling. And always, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And I really hope that today's episode encouraged you to explore new ways to support your healing and helped remind you that healing is possible with the right conditions. And so I encourage you to make creating those conditions for health a priority in your life and to keep supporting that incredible body of yours. And so may you trust your body, trust nature, and trust the incredible wisdom that God has built into your design. See you guys later.